Okay, so finishing up with the cube animation, I was kind of messing around with the PBR Fillogics Painter. Pretty cool thing. If you ever want to look that up, that is on the Blender Marketplace at blendermarketplace.com. Also, don't forget to follow my links or just type in cleanmeshtutorials.com. Get into the YouTube, you'll find plenty of free tutorials. Also, there are some larger and very affordable pay tutorials that will take you through all of the major and key functions and fundamentals of Blender. And this will be my last tutorial in 3.1 as I am moving on to Blender 3.2, and it is packed full of new things for the Cycles engine, which is now a C# programming. The Eevee engine has been upgraded, new shadow system has been initiated, and there are a ton of stability fixes, no more 10-second freezes or longer on a lot of different things. And so can't wait to get into that, and I'll do a tutorial on that as well. So let's go ahead and end panel out of that. Now from this screen, you can just hit your spacebar and type in splash. And what that'll do is it'll bring up your option to go to the splash screen. And you can come right here to video editing. And we'll go ahead and save that file because I was messing around with it and I don't want to lose all the textures I baked. Okay, so from here, this is kind of the same thing as the 3D viewport in its own manner, only this is going to be your rendered video. This is your timeline. Over here, you'll see different options when you click. Like we want to set this to cycles. We want our max samples to be 1 for me, that's what I selected, and a 0.03 on the noise is also what I had. And so there'll be a few other fixes. Turn on my denoise, go down to color management, go to high contrast, which is one of the things I use a lot of. I'll put 1 as the exposure the way I had it and select filmic because that's where it was. Now over here you can just click add an image sequence, and now you'll go find the image sequence that you made earlier. Alright, so I've got my folder and you can just select one, shift and down arrow if you wish to select it. I've got a couple of the things in this file, I don't want to select those, and I'm going 1 to 60 because that's how many frames I had. So you can just hit enter and it's going to drop that in right here and you'll see your animation pop up, what you did. And now you go to your start and you see that's at 1. Your endpoint has to be set to 60, otherwise you're going to render out something like an extra 60 or 100 extra frames you don't need. Alright, now playing this in the video editor, just straight up playing it, it's going to be choppy because what it's doing is loading each one of these EXRs individually, so you don't want to do that. What you want to do is make sure that you've got all your settings the same, and then you can jump right in, and I'll hit ×2, which is the asterisk on the Y, because that was the setting. And now that's 1920 by 2160, just like I had before, and 30 frames on the frame rate. Now you've got this extra box on the outside. It's not going to hurt the render, but you can bring that in if you want and collapse it down so it matches. Alright, and there's one more trick that if you somehow selected these backwards and your video is playing backwards and you don't want that, you can just come over to video and click reverse frames, and when you do that it's going to play from the opposite end, which can sometimes, because of the way you add it, until you get a little more experience, at least you know you have the option, and it will actually render it out in the correct way. But I don't need to do that because mine is set up correctly. And so let's do a quick check. It's going to come out FFmpeg video, which is going to be an MP4. You don't have to worry about that. You're not going to see that option in here. So that's good. Let's see, the temp output, we want to fix that. I don't want to dump it there. I actually want to go back into my Blender folder and back to my courses and inside my shift cube. Okay, that might have been where I was. And I'll just create a new folder and I'll call it 1. And then I'll even create another one that says 2. And maybe create another one, call that 3. And then I'll know the different sequences I have there. And you can rename those later if you want. But I'll just use 1 for now, hit accept. And I would say we're good. Why did my frame rate change? Nobody knows. Alright, so we're looking good. Now what you can do is go up here and click render animation. And this is generally very quick. It's not going to take anywhere near the time that it took previously because all it's doing is putting together the sequence. And you've just got 60 images. So we'll be right back. Okay, so right on frame 60. Didn't take very long at all. Make sure that's done. Yeah, usually when you have the save option come up, it's completed. And when the rendering here stops or you reach your frames, usually you're done. So what we can do from here is go find that file.